Hi, folks. The last thing I want to talk about this week is variables. Variables are an important part of any programming language, and they're present and available for you to use in Scratch as well. So, variables basically allow you to change the value of something over time. So, you can use variables to save information and to reuse it. Now you've already seen variables a little bit. For example, if we go to, let's see, under sensing, you've asked what is your name and weight, and then the answer. The answer is put into a variable called answer. So if you answer Jim, the value of answer is Jim. So that's an example of a variable, but you can create other variables as well that do other things. So let's create one under variables. So we'll make a variable. Let's continue with the square stuff we've been doing. So I'm going to call mine square size and say OK. Okay, so we have a variable called square size. Right now, square size is 0. And what I'm going to do, we've got this cat, and from the previous video, you saw that we created a block called flexible square that took one variable. So in previously we've used numbers like 150 and we've just put them directly in here, but you can also put variables into this area as well and have the variables change over time. So let me show you how that works. First thing we'll do is we're going to put up in here set square size to say 50. Now we're going to repeat 36 times. We're going to draw the flexible square, but instead of putting 150 in there, we're going to put in square size. So initially, square size is going to be 50, and the cat will draw a square of 50. It's going to then turn 10 degrees. And then what I'm going to do is change square size by 2. So after it turns the cat turns 10 degrees, it's going to change square size from 50 to 52. Then it's going to come around and draw a square of size 52. Then it's going to add another 2 to make it 54. It's going to come around and draw a flexible square of size 54, then 56, then 58, and then 60. So what we should get when we run this is a series of squares that get bigger and bigger over time. And before we run it, just for fun, let's also change the color a little bit. So we'll change the color at the same time. So again, we should see the squares that the cat draws getting bigger and bigger by 2 after each square. Okay, and so you can see that there. We started small and then we got bigger. Let's increase it by, say, even more, maybe by 5. See if we can make it even more dramatic. Yeah, there we go. So each square changes by 5 each time we go through this loop. And we do that through the use of the variable square size. So we started off at 50, and then we have it increasing by 5 each time. So this is one small use of a variable. You can create as many variables as you want, and each variable has a number of different functions. You can change it to, you can set the variable, you can change it, increase it or decrease it, or you can show it or hide it. So it's a very powerful function of computer languages, the use of variables, and it's here in Scratch as well.